You got an idea for a new venture. What is your competitive advantage? What is going to make sure that you get customers and people actually buy your product or your service? I am in the beautiful Gamcheon Culture Village in Busan, Korea. It is just glorious and amazing here. Okay, the first most common competitive advantage that people typically talk about is first mover advantage. I got this great idea that no one ever thought of. However, most of the time that people say that, to me at least, you just got to put it in Google research a little bit and you'll find out someone did think of it, tried it even, and maybe failed. So that's called first mover advantage if you really have a brand new business. And it's usually a very weak competitive advantage because any big shot company like a Google or a Microsoft can literally gobble you up in a moment and just do the exact same thing you're doing faster, better, with more money to work with. Pricing is a very common competitive advantage. Are you going to provide the best quality product at a premium price and try to get only a handful of clients to give you a lot of money? Or are you going to be a loss leader, someone who prices something below everybody else, even maybe below your cost, just to gobble up as much market share as possible and get as many customers as possible quickly? Or are you a free solution in a market full of paid ones? That is a very common thing in the computer world when someone puts out an open source product that other people are paying lots of money for and they give away for free. So there's lots of options there. None of them are particularly strong options unless you have a lot of finance and capital behind you. However, it's doable. Is there space in the market for your product? That's basically what you're trying to figure out. Now, if you are going to come up with a very niche product, okay, something that is a specific solution to a very uncommon problem. However, you figured out a solution that people might need. Figure out what the market share is, meaning how many people actually have this problem. Do the math. If X percentage of them buy your product or your service, will you end up with enough money to warrant even doing it? Okay, I've had a few ideas of niche product solutions and I threw them away. I did the math and it didn't make sense. Here's a solution to fix a specific problem, let's say for a specific car. The common problem with this car, you create this widget and it solves the problem for whoever owns this car, but there's not that many people own that car mathematically. Maybe 10,000 people own the car, 1%, 5% even buy from you, and the product only costs $50. You don't have a lot of money to work with there. You got to do the math if that's going to be your solution, a niche product solution. Is your advantage going to be a patent or a trademark that you kind of control and control the market that way? Well, that's good, but patents are really expensive. So if you don't already have the patent, that's a pretty challenging way to have a competitive advantage, particularly because of how long they take to get, at least in the United States. So that's not really a very strong competitive advantage if that's the only thing you got is your patent. Now, probably your patent goes together with some kind of niche solution, and then maybe you have something. But you got to figure out, if it takes you let's say a year to get the patent in, you're pending for like the first year, people can copy you, and then you can hope you win it and get back the money, blah, blah, blah. It's a very complicated way to have a competitive advantage, a patent. It's perfectly doable. It's just not easy. One of the more overlooked competitive advantages is a unique team with skills that are difficult to procure, meaning someone, let's say, is an expert in the topic of what your business is doing, and there aren't that many experts in the field, okay? It's a unique skill, and let's say you got 2 or 3 people like this. That's actually a very strong competitive advantage to have a good, strong team like that. I've heard the reverse, the inverse, where people who had really good ideas and products in this, but had teams that were not so impressive, were turned down by angel investors from funding because they simply didn't have a team with the expertise in what they need to get the business, financially secure. Now, there's one competitive advantage that's literally one of the most controversial ones for entrepreneurs, and it's simply there's room in the market for another competitor. It's as simple as that. You're not claiming to do anything better or faster or cheaper or anything. There's room in the market for another competitor. Believe it or not, that's a fair competitive advantage. There's plenty of because of markets that have these. You know, they need more people to compete. And here it is. You're another competitor. You're not better. You're equal. You're not inferior. And that's it. That's your competitive advantage. My God, look at these stairs. Yo, check out those steps. All right, that's all I got for you today. Come on out to Gamcheon Culture Village in Busan, Korea. Look how many more steps I got to go. I got a while to go. All right, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Yeah!